Hello again. In this video, I want to look with you at your perception of time and your schedule now that you're developing a fresh relationship with food. If you've had one particular relationship with food for decades, you're not going to be a different person, you're not going to change utterly. But I think you will begin to see that now that you've perhaps reached a point where you no longer think about food as much and you no longer feel hungry as much, your time is not carved up into, when you're going to eat or how soon you can eat again. And it may feel very different. In actual fact, any big changes in life, including those that are forced upon you, can alter your perception of time. I mean, people that are newly single after divorce or widowhood frequently find this. I mean, particularly, I'm a widow of some 6 years now, and I do remember that time when, because you're very busy up to the point when your partner dies, and you're very busy shortly thereafter organising everything, and then there comes that moment where you think, oh, this really is forever. And some of you may have experienced that and may already have perceived that kind of warping of time. So it's somehow elastic. So you do all the things that you would normally do in the morning and you suddenly think, it's not even nearly lunchtime yet. That's the sort of thing that can happen. And now that you're not so focused on food, it may be happening to you. And that's fine, but you may want to be aware of it so that you don't fall into previous bad habits. What can you do about it then? I would suggest that you work out the times in the day, or maybe it's the evenings, maybe it's the middle of the afternoon, depending on whether you work or not. When you suddenly feel that time hangs heavily on your hands, try and identify when those times are. And then I would take a bit of card. I'm a great believer in having a piece of card. For a start, it's more robust than paper, it doesn't tear, but also there's something a bit more formal about it, and I think you treat it rather more seriously. I would take a piece of card and I would write down these times on one side of it here. And then here, I would start writing down the activities and interests that you've probably started occurring to you that you might want to develop now that you are developing a different attitude to food. It may be that you're getting more confident because you feel slimmer, and there may be all sorts of things that when you were bigger or when you really felt that you were so focused on food you couldn't think of anything else, that you didn't kind of allow yourself brain space. And I know one woman who'd always wanted to volunteer at National Trust property. She was quite interested in history, and she thought she would look ridiculous and people wouldn't take her seriously because she was really big. And when she'd slimmed down a bit, she felt much more confident, and she did. She became a sort of, I don't know what they call them, not an usher, somebody who's an expert on that particular room. And you may think, I've always wanted to help out at my local theatre. You may think, I could do amateur dramatics now, or join a choir, or run, or just be part of a book group. I could do some physical activities. There are all sorts of things that are probably occurring to you right now. And on this bit of paper, or card, as I should say, you could start listing all the things that you would really like to do, and then work out perhaps when you could contemplate doing them. It is a matter of confidence, I think, but it's also a matter of feeling freed up. And I think many of you do feel freed up from the kind of tyranny of food in the past, and therefore you've got time and energy and interest to explore in other ways. Another thing just to bear in mind is that your danger point may very well have been in terms of snacking while you watched TV. That's quite common. A client of mine actually used to, she took up tapestry, so that when she was watching television, she didn't want to eat, she was perfectly satisfied with her evening meal. She didn't want to eat, but she would do tapestry to occupy her hands while she was watching TV. So you may want to devise something like that. And finally, I would say, if you don't want to snack when you're watching TV and you want a little tip that might just give you that extra bit of oomph to know that you're confident that you're not going to snack through the evening, brush your teeth. There's nothing that says, I've finished eating for the day, like brushing your teeth the final day. A client told me that one actually, and she said to me, Christine, I brush my teeth and then I know I'm not going to eat. And so that's just something else that you might want to bear in mind. I'm sure you're doing really, really well. I look forward to seeing you next time.